Right then, in this video is, oh, whoops, wrong image. Let's start this one again. Right then, this is the expensive flight adventure to New York in America. Let's explore New York and see what interesting lifts I'll find. So then, here's my aeroplane arriving into Mr. Stewart's personal airport, which is fucking miles away from New York. Yeah, I really am trying to do this on the cheap, but it still turned out to be a very expensive adventure. Anyway, the next day, I'll go to the first lift. Now, I've seen some strange shaped lifts over the years. I've seen circle lifts, I've seen triangle lifts, I've even seen T-shaped lifts, but one thing I've never seen is a parallelogram shaped lift. Now, back when I was 5 years old, my favourite shape was a parallelogram, and that's because it's got such a weird name. Well, in New York, they've actually got a lift this shape, and it's just so weird. It's a weird shaped lift. Hydraulic. Look at that. How are doors going at? Oh, weird door layout. This is weird. Wow. So then, now we go along to Times Square, and wow, that is a lot of skyscrapers. Let's go into the Sheraton Hotel, which has got some epic Westinghouse lifts modernised by Schindler with Myconic logic with full intelligent levelling, and these go around 5.5 metres a second. There's some flat spots on this. And if we take a look on top of these lifts, it's got an epic big chassis. Let's ride it. Lobby. H5, so this is the beepy one. So listen to how much it beeps at 6 meters a second. It's really funny. Where did you stop? Oh fuck! Smoking. What's cooking down in the sewers? What the fuck's this about? That's Crown Plaza, which is shut apparently. That's steamy. So then, along I go to downtown New York. Now, I've always found the American term of downtown quite strange because in British English, downtown is a verb. You are going down to the town. Yet in American, it's a noun, it's the name of a place. But in New York, there's also an uptown, midtown and a downtown, so it makes a lot more sense. And I actually like that naming system. So let's go into a skyscraper in downtown New York. And here is the hotel section of the skyscraper. This goes up 30 floors.
That's straight down long before it stopped.
But I was a bit disappointed. 30 floors is not enough. So let's go into the residential side of the tower, which goes up to the 57th floor.
Fucking shiny, eh? Bit slow though for 57 floors. About 5 metres a second. Bit slow, I would expect like, I don't know, 7. I guess not. This is pretty quick, but I wanted faster. Yeah, about 5 metres a second, I think. Leveling's pretty good, I'm a bit jolty. Actually, it hasn't levelled that well. And here we have a stupid tourist attraction.
So here I'm on the 57th floor, which is a little residence lounge area, where there is a small lift going from the 57th floor up to the roof level.
This thing is really jolty. Wow, it's nice. I think that is a nice building.
So here's what the roof area looks like. It is very nice, which is a really nice place to take a look at the view. So here's the view looking south from this tower, and there's lots of skyscrapers about.
Yay, that's New York ticked off.
And now let's take a look at a view looking east, where there's also loads of skyscrapers. But if we take a look at a view looking north, oh, it seems that 2 of the skyscrapers have gone missing. And here's the view looking west.
Down. Let's go back down to level 1. Try stopping this. 5 meters a second, not the fastest, but fuck.
So then, now we go along to Brooklyn, and along to an older building where the lifts are old Otis lifts that have been modernised by Cone.
Well, old Otis mod by Cone. Cone buttons there. Otis.
Panel locked. Show access card to the card reader. Select floor by press. Elevator D. To floor 1. On your right.
When's the Chinaman?
And now we go along to the Marriott Hotel, which has some classic 1980s American Otis lifts. let's go into the main lifts.
This is so American. Beep, beep, beep. Ooh, now that's a better phone.
So then, now back into the centre of New York, and I go to the Westin Hotel. And this hotel's got some nice speedy lifts, which feel about 7 metres a second. And now along to the Riu Hotel. This is literally a Riu hotel from Spain. And let's just say, unlike in Spain where they get away with constructing their properties really cheaply, they've had to build it a bit better for New York.
28, I don't think that's the highest. Oh, the music's crap. Oh, this lift's quicker than I thought for how many floors. Stop! Ooh, ooh! Those brakes were a bit gentle, but I went harsh at the last minute and they screeched. That music, stop! The stupid music in these lifts. How much is that going to be? $30 probably. I don't know.
And now let's take a look at a very posh hotel, which is the W Hotel. And this place is very luxury.
Good morning. Do I change it this afternoon? What? Beep. That's quick.
Let's take a look at a lift going halfway up the tower.
Where does this go? 33. No, 32. Oh, I'm off somewhere. We'll find out. Or maybe it doesn't move. Oh, we're off somewhere. Let's see. Stop. Ooh.
Secure your canvas. Oh, you canvas.
Now at this point I stopped recording because I didn't get an XP on camera, but security actually then said to me through the intercom, well, since you're filming, I guess you're not stuck. And then he hanged up. So after that, he was definitely watching me, which is annoying because the next lifts I looked at were the lifts that went up to the upper floors. And I would have liked to have surfed those, but not if he's watching me.
This one's got 57, so it should be a bit quicker. It's like a notice button, but it's not concave. Let's see if this one gets any better. Oh, come on, let me up. And that's good afternoon because it's just gone past midday. What's C2? Ground. So literally, while I was in this building, they've changed it from good morning to good afternoon. Wow. These are speedy. I'm being watched in this building, so no surfing.
So So then, as I've just taken a look at a very posh hotel, let's now take a look at the place where I was staying, which is the complete opposite. I was staying in a very rough hostel. Now, I've stayed in some rough places over the years. It wasn't terrible, but it did feel quite rough. And it wasn't even cheap. Like, it was cheap for New York, but it was still £25 a night. It wasn't the cleanest of places, but, well, it did its job. So, let's now go along to Brighton. But not for Brighton in England. This is Brighton in New York. And the funny thing is, it actually looks a bit like Brighton in England. It's like an American version. Welcome to Brighton. Why are they playing that shitty music? Oh, this is Brighton. I would say it's actually slightly more like the real Brighton than I thought it'd be. You've got a beach. It's actually a sandy beach. Actually, that's better than Brighton because real Brighton only has stony beach. So there is some beach in New York, which is not something that most people go to New York for. Nationalist. And some of the buildings like this one, that would actually not look out of place in Brighton. Although one thing that's different is the amount of stupid nationalism. At least England hasn't quite got to this stage yet, but to be honest, it's heading that way. But anyway, going inside of the building, now that is where things are now become very different to England. Because everything inside the building is really heavy duty. America build their buildings far better than England, and the lifts are so much better built. The lifts here are old Otis lifts, which appear to have been modernised twice. So this is a very generic thing, American generic. But look how well built this is. Look, metal buttons rather than plastic. It looks like metal like in England, like proper heavy feeling buttons. Like this feels like a tower block lift. Like America does their lifts better. And on top of the lift is a really heavy duty old Otis lift, and it's got a nice looking old style inspection control, which is not original to the lift, so I reckon that's from an earlier mod. Very well built. So this is on top. Look, that's well built. It's really well built. Special control. Oh, this is older on the top than it is inside. So this is an older lift, but even still, it's still better than the equivalent in England. Really well built lifts here. Special control. Spot the car. That's not stupidly oversized. None of them. They're all fucking massive. Whereas Cole sports cars aren't so big, but they're still overpriced. Oh, why do you need a car that big? Come on, I bet it's one old man probably drives that. So stupid. And you got this thing. A massive car. Also in Brighton, there's this older looking building, and it's actually got a swing door lift. Staley. The front door and an annoying inner door. I don't know, you've got ones like this in America actually. Indicator doesn't work. Pull to stop. Oh, it hasn't been pulled in a long time. A diamond thing there. Inspection certificate. I don't know why we don't have these in England. In England, it's allowed to run if they can insure it. It's not even such thing as an inspection certificate in England. I think this is a better system, to be honest, because it's more official. So, as we're just taking a look at somewhere quite nice, let's now take a look at somewhere very grim. Because New York has posh and grim right next to each other. And some of the stations on the New York subway are really rough, especially ones where there's loads of homeless people about and dodgy lifts. So this station is very old, but also very rough. There's urine everywhere, where homeless people piss everywhere. And I've seen some absolutely giant rats on the platform of this station. to a shop. And looking at a lift here, I had no idea what this was. It doesn't look like a code eco disc, and I only realised it actually was when I heard the motor sound when I emergency stopped it.
-1, serious density. Bit more of a plain lift. Still something different to the UK. Oh, that's an eco disc. Oh my fuck, it doesn't look anything like an eco disc. What's supposed to stop like? Like an eco disc emergency stop. It looks nothing like it. I would never have known until I heard the motor. This is so weird. It's same logic. Slow to nearest floor, so it's LC exactly the same, but just looks different. The American version to fit how the market expects lifts to be in America. Let's do it again. Got to one this time.
And now we go to Flushing, which sounds like somewhere that has a lot of toilets. Let's take a look at the shopping centre. This adventure will be continued in my next video.
So, Flushing Shopping Centre, Schindler Iconic.
Floor 2.
Perfect levelling. That is iconic, even though it's all in American format. You can tell it's by the levelling. Gentle. Start straight back up again, no having to be fine precision.
Floor 6.
And still with perfect levelling. That is iconic. Okay, I did not expect to see that.